Hello. Right, my mate with the burger van, he does receive mentions on the channel, obviously because of the case, but I don't believe there's been specific videos done about him as such. But he received communique from Marston's bailiffs that they were going to take all his money and all his goods away because he owed, I think it was less than 200 quid or something. I don't know. But he didn't know what it was for, you see. Didn't have a clue. So he phoned them up and he said, "What's it for?" And they went, "We don't know." They said, "You'll have to contact the council for that." This is Peterborough. Remarkably, this is in Huntingdon because, well, he lives in Peterborough. So this is Peterborough. I think it's a unitary council. I'm really not sure. They're very strange. But this is Peterborough. So he phones up the council and is like, "Well, it's in the hands of the bailiffs now. You'll have to speak to them." And he said, "But I've spoken to them and they don't know what it's for." "Well, we don't know." Anyway, we have got to the bottom of it after he eventually thought to then go back through all his bank records. It was either last August or the August before he'd missed a council tax payment. Doesn't know how, must have been busy, got distracted, whatever. But he genuinely had no idea this was going on, and there was a very good reason for it. It was because he had never received the liability order from the council. I would say from the court, but let's face it, we know that most of the councils print them off themselves. So he'd never received a liability order. And this is the problem I keep banging on about on this channel with these bailiffs, is that they just post letters. Right? Why he didn't get it? Did it go in the wrong letterbox, the wrong house? Was it ever even sent out? Who knows? But I've no reason to disbelieve him. I've plenty of reason to disbelieve people in the council and the police who say there's absolutely nothing wrong with 25 years worth of missing taxpayers' cash in the council's accounts. That's all fine and dandy, apparently. So I'll never fucking believe a word they say ever again. But I've no reason to disbelieve him. So if he says he didn't get it, he didn't get it. And as I say, this is a problem. They just come up, they post these liability orders, that's 75 quid or something like this. Then the next letter is 235 quid or something. We've not spoken to anyone. Christ, the people could have bloody moved out, do you know what I mean? Oh, and vis-a-vis, for those of you wondering, after what was called something like the Bailiff's Conduct Review between 2010 and 2013, Jonathan Ginogly MP, who's a local MP for Huntingdon, useless waste of space. He said 30 years of missing taxpayers' cash wasn't his job. But he was quoted in the Independent in 2013, Independent newspaper, as saying that bailiffs were still not allowed to stick their foot in your door to keep it open. So that'll be another complaint going in against Chris Gilbert of Marston Bailiffs, who did exactly that for about 45 minutes when he came round that fateful day in August last year. Good luck with that one, Chris. Anyway, so I've no reason to disbelieve him. So they found out this was council tax only because he'd gone back through all his accounts. Not received a liability order. Like I say, God knows if it was sent out. And then, of course, the next thing that's going to happen is that, of course, Marston's have already added their fees on. So there's no going back with these people, you see. Again, like our friend Chris Gilbert said, that fateful day last August. Like he said, oh, well, we wouldn't be here if everything wasn't correct. And, of course, as it turns out, you had the wrong date of birth on the paperwork. So everything wasn't correct. So whether you knew it or not, Chris, you were lying and you hadn't checked your details. So it was unlawful arrest and detainment. Not that you managed that. The police had to come out and do that. It's a very good... That one's actually coming up in the ratings now, guys. When a legal arrest part 2 of 2, and when the policeman turns up and I asked him if he was going to illegally arrest me now, and he said yes. Mind you, that was quite tame, judging by PC Whelan's behaviour, who didn't identify himself properly, didn't identify me correctly, failed to understand that I had not understood my rights, and then just threatened me when I was standing there in my dressing gown and bare feet, and I had a dangerously fragile pre-operation hernia. So I forget the first chap's name back in August, but I think you're a bit of a rank amateur, mate. I mean, you should have just threatened me with violence, like PC Whelan did, you know. You're coming with me one way or the other, son. To get back to the point, though, this is the fucking problem. Now, these liability orders, these bailiffs, they need to speak to an adult at the house. These things need to be fucking signed for. There's no way around it. I mean, let's face it, the reason they stopped these people breaking into people's houses is because they kept on breaking into their own fucking houses. That should tell you something, really, shouldn't it? So either this liability order, has not been sent out, or it's gone in the wrong letterbox. Either way, I've no doubt in what my mate's saying, that he did not have a clue what was going on until he got this letter from them. And then we wondered why they were all being allowed to get away with this. All this illegal stuff. Report them, nothing happens. Report them, nothing happens. Report, you know. And of course now we know, thanks to, from my last video, thanks to Inspector Rogerson, of course, all council employees, all court staff and all their employees are immune from prosecution. Certainly by Cambridgeshire Police, which extends to Peterborough. It's not rocket science, is it? I've been a bit quiet this week, actually, because I've had nothing to say. I mean, my mate told me all this a couple of days ago, so I've been meaning to get onto it. But this is the system is an absolute joke. These council people can't be trusted. The police can't be trusted. Judges can't be fucking trusted, and they've proved that themselves by the stuff they've sent out to me, you know, and the stuff they've done to me. Being held in the station for 2 days for no fucking reason whatsoever, except that I questioned the validity of the arrest. And then some RC desk sergeant who decided my potentially life-threatening hernia was in fact very funny. Well, we'll see how professional standards get on with that one, Sarge, shall we? Anyway, I shall see you all later.